You might not know this, but the company that manufactures your local mail truck also manufactures one of the most badass planes in the entire world, the B-2 stealth bomber. Believe it or not, these both come from the same company, a company that has been known to manufacture a lot of America's most interesting hardware. My name is Praying for Exits. I run a venture capital fund called Exits Capital, as well as a media business called Exits Media, where we dive into stories around technology and the coolest people in the industry that make some of the most important things in the technological world. Today, we're going to talk about the company that not only made the mail truck, but also the stealth bomber, and a little bit about the founders and how the company came together in a time where America really needed its help. To begin our story, we need to talk about the Grumman Corporation and how it got its start. Now known as Northrop Grumman after a merger in 1994, the Grumman Corporation was originally founded in 1930 by a group of aviation enthusiasts led by a man named Leroy Grumman. The company's origins can be traced back to a small garage in Baldwin, New York, where Leroy, along with his co-founders Jake Swerble, Bill Schwendler, and E. Clinton Towle, embarked on their quest to revolutionize the aviation industry. Grumman graduated from Cornell University in 1916 with a degree in mechanical engineering. His career in aviation began during World War I, where he served as a flight instructor and a U.S. Navy test pilot. After the war, he worked as a civil engineer and joined the Loaning Aeronautical Engineering Corporation, where he became a manager and met several of his future business partners. In 1930, after the Great Depression, Grumman co-founded Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corp. Under the leadership of Grumman and with the help of his friends, the company rapidly evolved, gaining a reputation for innovation and quality, specifically in the aerospace industry. Grumman and his team were instrumental in the design and production of several iconic military aircraft, including the F-4F Wildcat and the F-6F Hellcat fighters, which were crucial in the European theater in World War II. He was known for his hands-on approach and often tested and flew aircraft himself. But how did all of this innovation lead to something as common as the mail truck, and what does that have to do with the modern stealth bomber? Before the Grumman Corporation picked up the contract to produce the iconic mail truck, the company was primarily known for its extensive range of aerospace and defense products that they sold directly to the US government. Grumman's most notable contributions were in the field of military aircraft, where they gained a reputation for building robust, reliable planes. Key products that preceded the mail truck era included fighter aircraft, torpedo bombers, jet aircraft, spacecraft, surveillance aircraft, and commercial aircraft. The decision by the Grumman Corporation to manufacture 100,000 mail trucks for $1.86 billion in 1986, despite its primary focus on aerospace and defense, was influenced by several factors. The first was diversification. Grumman had relied on aerospace and aircraft for the majority of their revenue up until this point, and saw a huge benefit in expanding their product portfolio into more consistently needed vehicles. The second was the utilization of existing expertise. The Grumman Corporation had extensive experience in building durable, reliable vehicles with a focus on engineering excellence. The skills and technologies developed for aerospace and defense applications, such as robust vehicle construction, were easily adapted for the design and manufacture of the postal trucks. And the last thing was a massive business opportunity. In the late 1980s, the United States Postal Service was looking to replace an aging and decrepit fleet that had been in service for a very long time. Grumman saw this as a lucrative opportunity to pick up a $1.86 billion contract, which is worth roughly $3 billion now after inflation. This represented a massive windfall to the Grumman Corporation and would allow them to expand their research and development, as well as build out for a bunch of factories across the country. A lot of people have their issues with Northrop Grumman and companies like it, like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, etc., and it does make sense. These companies create products that are used in war and conflict situations around the world, but the important part is that off the back of this, they are protecting American interests, albeit in a way that is very difficult to sometimes reconcile. Regardless of how you feel about Northrop Grumman and the military-industrial complex, some of the greatest technological innovation that we have seen in this country has not only come from the companies directly, but the people who have worked there and gone on to start new and interesting, amazing things in the technological space. Moving forward, after picking up the mail truck contract, Northrop Grumman continued its streak of innovation and diversification of their portfolio, and also began to develop something that would go on to become the B-2 bomber. Beginning the development in the late 70s, the Grumman Corporation would go on to collaborate with Northrop, a company that they later acquired in the 1990s, to contract and build the B-2 bomber. Grumman Corporation's specific role in the B-2 program was as a subcontractor, meaning that it contributed some of its expertise in specific areas without being on the hook for the full aircraft's development. The development of the B-2 and other stealth aircraft marked a monumental advancement in aviation technology, profoundly influencing American military strategy as well as aerospace engineering. This innovation was so significant that the names of the founding companies were prominently featured in the aircraft's designation, known as the Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit. This naming not only acknowledged the technological prowess of Northrop and Grumman, but also cements this aircraft's place in the annals of aviation history as a symbol of cutting-edge design and strategic capability for the American military. So the next time you see your postal postman pull up to your house in one of those square boxy trucks, just think that somewhere up in the sky there's a much bigger, faster, and stealthier version of that flying overhead. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, please drop a like, and feel free to comment anything that we should cover, especially as it relates to cool stories and technology. Until next time.